Hi, everyone. This is Milani Douglas, Director of Public Programs here at the National Museum of Women in the Arts. We are talking with Maggie Pate today about reclamation. And Maggie, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah. I'm in
Good.
Florida right now, so I get to see some green. The sun's out. You never meet a bad day, right? I'm actually really enjoying seeing people with the pandemic and everything going on, there's been a lot more interest in people wanting to learn how to naturally dye, just like there's been a lot of people wanting to create their own sourdough bread starter and take on these practices that are really a homage to the way our society used to live. But yeah, I mean, certainly are. I've always said this, and I think I wrote about it in my book that I had, was like, we are a society of immediacy. When we want something, we want it at that moment, and the idea of waiting is just almost it's seen as like a negative thing. Like, even, I don't want to get into politics, but like even with the election, like people want to know that day who was our president, who is going to be our president, instead of just saying, okay, let's take our time and let's let the democratic process work itself out. These are millions and millions of ballots, but it's not, like the way we live in society isn't a beginning to end. It's sort of a continual timeline. So it's nice that we've circled back around to practices that are more sustainable. I was adopted, and so I don't really have a lot of my own familial history. But my adopted mother, my mom, grew up in Lower Alabama, and they grew up very, very poor. So instead of her mother would, take them to the used clothes store and purchase their Sunday clothes. And if something had a stain on it, she would end up dyeing it with teas or, coffees and stuff like that to give it a new life, so that they could, on Easter Sunday, go to church looking like they had new clothes to be proud of. And when my mom told me that story, it just sort of was like, this is natural dyeing, it's sustainable, but it's also like this homage to we're trying to present ourselves in this way of in the best light possible. And it was really heartwarming that she resorted to natural dyes and food waste to create that, I guess, sense of honor and perspective for her kids growing up. I don't know, but that's a story that always sort of struck me as a happy memory that I could somewhat connected to.